Right, guys, I think we're all ready to kick this off. Firstly, welcome to our very first Inside Cambridge City Football Club, the youth section. With us tonight, we have got Scott, who will be representing the under-15 Browns, Mike, under-13s, Wayne and Trevor, the under-15 Reds, Si and myself, Matt, representing the under-14s, and our newly appointed director of Cambridge City and head of youth, Neil Midgley. So welcome, everyone, and hope you're all well. How has lockdown been for you guys in the latest one?
I'll start. For me, boring. Stuck at home doing nothing and working here since the beginning of March, so not been out a great deal at all. So from my point of view, I can understand how I've coped with it, and I can certainly see from when I've been talking to the players and lots of how it's affecting them as well. So from our point of view with the under-15s, we've been trying to do everything we can to engage with them to keep as active as possible, and hopefully one day soon ready for a restart again. But I think that's a long way off at the moment.
So what have you guys been doing then with the under-15s during the latest lockdown?
So we've been doing a call with the red team on a Friday and a call with brown team on a Friday, red team on a Monday. We're doing it every week. They last about an hour. We've done various presentations the way we want to play. They've been asking lots of questions of, obviously, we'll come on to Neil later about the new ground, and we've filled them in and just been having really a bit of a laugh and a joke with them. I think Scott and Trevor will agree with me with that. We've listened to some ideas they've put to us where they wanted some fitness videos and stretches and things to do at home, which we've sent them. So we're just listening to what they want. And we've also said, look, if anyone's got anything they want to talk to us about directly away from the group, please get in touch with us. We're here for them as well. I think because they're all homeschooling, struggling with that as well, to come to terms with it. I mean, some of them have been off school since mid-December.
Right, I mean, so with that, obviously you're mixing it up with the Browns and the Reds with that. So how are the players coping? Obviously they're homeschooling at the moment. Are they missing the city experience?
Definitely. All they're asking every day, and I mean, Trevor and Scott, you can chip in here, they want to know when they can start. We've got one player, I won't mention names, he doesn't understand months, so he just says, can you tell me how many days until we can play? Scott, Trevor had something.
Just think, in 20 years' time, some of these players could be running the country.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
God help us with the 15s.
I mean, some of the things that we've spoken to the Browns and the Reds about is not just detrimental to football. It's about their well-being. You know, what they've been doing during the day, not just school, but just trying to get on board, just to have a laugh. Because if they're doing Zoom calls or team calls with schools, then they've got to be serious. You know, and if mums and dads are working at home, then they can't let themselves go a little bit at home. So we're just trying to make sure we have a little bit of a laugh for that hour on a weekly basis, just so they can interact with their mates as much as it is to do with football.
Yeah, I agree.
Good stuff. So what else? What I'm going to go on to Mike before. I'm going to get Si to talk for the under-14s tonight. So I think I'll do enough talking with them boys as well. So Mike, how you been getting on with the under-13s during this horrific time?
Probably just start to say I think it's really tough for these boys. This is their first year in EGA, and they haven't had the experience of the changing rooms and the after-match hospitality and being able just to play football. It's been a real challenge for them, and I think it's a crucial time for them at under-13s as well, coming in and being able to just get the full experience and play at that level. But it is what it is, and safety is all the priority that we need to follow with. But we set them a target every Tuesday night when we should be training, and every Sunday when we should have a game. we've given them a fitness exercise that works on them, just keeping their stamina going and a few runs, but also some technique exercises they need to do, like keepy ups and toe taps and all that sort of stuff. And they just put in the chat that they've done it. So I think that's good that they're seeing it, their teammates are doing it, and it's keeping them fit, and it's getting them out there, it's getting them a bit of fresh air, and it's building up their technique. But last night we had a quiz. Again, it's a similar thing as Trevor said. It was a bit of fun. We've got 4 of the boys to 10 questions each, and they had a quiz and had a bit of fun with it. And I asked them at the end if they wanted to repeat it. So we're going to have another quiz in a few weeks' time with 4 different quiz masters. The whole thing is important is we just got to try and keep them engaged and connected. And someday they'll get back and play for City and the vision of having a stadium to play in and everything. That's a nice little hook for them. So it gives them something to look forward to. But yeah, it's a challenging time for them.
No, absolutely. And CiTY, the under 14s, I think we've been the quietest, haven't we, with our lot? Blimey. I feel like we've neglected the under 14 during lockdown, actually.
Well, we've touched base with them, haven't we? Sort of once every couple of weeks. Nothing too serious. Just making sure that they're all right. And you sit there and you normally set a quiz or something for them to do, keeps them occupied. But as Mike said, I think some of our boys, because we've got quite a few new players this season, that they've yet to experience the full, the EGA experience, so to speak. Getting there nice and early, having a look round, changing rooms, maybe something to eat afterwards. So that they've yet to experience what I'd call the EGA experience. And I think some of them have found it quite hard to adapt, especially with what's going on in the current climate at the moment. But yeah, we only sort of touch base every couple of weeks, don't we, Matt? Just make it fun for them, really.
Definitely. I think it's more for us, like everybody else is spoken about, is their well-being more than anything. Speaking about my own Fenton, I know he's been finding it really tough with no sport, no activity or anything else, and been over to the rec a couple of 3 times and booted a ball at me, which is no fun anymore. I certainly wouldn't want to go with the under 15s to have a ball booted at me. I'll tell you, I've seen the way some of them strike it. It's just really difficult, and it's trying to find that balance as well. That's the hard thing. Of you don't want to give them too much that makes them disappointed. You say, oh, we could be back in March, we could be back in April, when we don't actually know when we'll be back. And hand on heart, I think this season for youth football will be written off, and the only thing we will have to do is have friendlies. Or competitive friendlies, shall we say. But I mean, I'll be actually interested to know what the senior lot doing. How are you keeping in contact with your boys or men?
Yeah, so from the first team point of view, again, we've had just really keeping in touch with them through WhatsApp. Said to them, look, if you need to talk, we're here, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, they're a bit older and obviously should be able to occupy themselves now. But we understand, we should be, but we do understand what they're going through. And as you've all highlighted, it's tough times for young people at the moment.
Has anybody, I mean, during this time, I'm going to talk about the coaches. We talk enough about for the players, everyone's we're trying to do everything for the players, but what we try and do for ourselves. Has anybody picked up any new hobbies? I know Mike started with the Football Fun Factory in recent months, so that looks really exciting. I don't know whether you want to quickly touch base on that one, Mike.
I just put myself on mute there. We've got a bit of background noise. Have we got?
That's all right. I'll be able to get rid of that. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Football Fun Factory, unfortunately, at the moment, again, the same as any football, it's suspended. But that's been a great little adventure to start off with. And you know what? It's really good about it. There's no competitiveness at all. It is purely about creating that environment for young children to fall in love with the game. Let them run around, play with our friends, meet new friends. We do skills and techniques and all that, but the majority of the time it's just about having fun. And you know what? I think the Football Fun Factory's got an opportunity to really thrive once we get back up and running, because children will just want to get out and play football. If not, the parents will want to get them out and playing football and being active. But that's something that when we do it, I'm really enjoying it. And we had some camps over Christmas as well, when you've got the men playing in the inflatables, and it's just great fun. And what we want to do is create great memories and experiences for them. So yeah, it's good.
I think it's fantastic, because it's for one of us. We're all, of the same ilk as well. And Cambridge City, over the years, we've been, we haven't put pressure on players. They've got to motivate themselves. They've got to show that desire if they want to go to the next level in the game. But for me, having that ethos as such, where we want to be competitive, but this lot have got to enjoy it, because I forget how many players we've had come in through various age groups that have been released from academies that have literally nearly fallen away from the game. And it does worry me. We're there to try to pick them up. You don't become a bad player. That club, that team, isn't the right team for them at that moment in time. And I think, things are going to change massively during the next few years, especially with academy football. Our players going to go into academies? Our club's going to pick them up at a later age, and all of this? But and all we can do is create that environment, create that mentality where they can come here, they don't play with any pressure. I know me and Si usually having a cup of tea and a cup of coffee most of the time on the sideline, and with the rest, it's and it's up to the players. I can't say boys anymore, because we've got girls. I know the under 15s. I've got girls as well. That's how inclusive we've become.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Matt. There appears to be so much pressure on young people at the moment in life, and to create an environment that we've got here at Cambridge City. I've been to all the games this year, all your age groups, and the main thing I've taken from it is how much enjoyment the boys and girls get from it, and that for me is fantastic. And that is exactly what I want to see. I couldn't care less about the result at the end of the day. I know we all enjoy winning, and so do the kids and that, but as long as they enjoy it and have that environment where they can enjoy coming, and that is the main thing. And I fully believe that we've created that with the little resources that we've had over the last few years, and that is a testament to you coaches and managers. So I'd just like to say that, to be honest.
That's great. Any other interesting new ventures, new hobbies?
My yoga's improved.
Yoga?
Yeah.
Wayne, sign up.
My
see you in a pair of yoga pants.
My eating has certainly improved. Yoga.
I'll tell you what, there is one thing, and I've been having many lines of communication with a certain person in this group at the moment with social media. I mean, social media has just boomed. Has any of you guys ever experienced TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't get it.
Do you know what? I see all these youth hear about it all the time, and I'm thinking, how can we communicate? In different channels. We've got WhatsApp, Snapchat. I don't understand that. And you hear, TikTok. Millions of followers. It's the way. Wow, honestly, that's a whole new world. Well, it's not a new world, but it's certainly a world that
yeah.
It does it online, yeah. So I mean, that's my new hobby at the moment is TikTok.
I think we could be in trouble there, Matt, if that's your new hobby.
Well,
it does. Unfortunately, I don't know how it thinks that I'm some sort of middle-aged man looking at want to look at gardening. I don't know, and what have you. It's an interesting one, but
yeah.
Wayne's obviously built an office in his back garden, in his garage. Actually,
I had to get out of the house
Come on, let's have a quick scout round of what you got attached to your walls, because there's some good memorabilia. Mike will like one of these.
Well, we've got over there. Hang on, I'm going to try and
Oh, we lost him now, haven't we? He's got so you get rid of him.
His dial-up leads come out.
Is he all right?
He's pulled the plug. He's gone.
Oh, God. I'm back. You want me?
Oh, you're back now. Yeah.
I can't show you because the lead's not long enough, but there is a good picture up on the wall, Mike, that you'd be over the moon with. It's a 1966 original framed England shirt signed by 4 of the players, which unfortunately have all died now. So it's I won it 20 years ago at a Queen's College sportsman's dinner for £20 on a raffle. And it's got all the original paperwork, so I know it is now worth a lot of money. And no,
you should have said that. You should have said that on him. Mate, he'll come round your house now.
They won't get in here, not with Rambo guarding the property.
Have you stuck it in the garage, Wayne, as well? God,
I'll tell you offline, Neil.
Scotty, Trevor, Si, anything new, interesting in your lives that you want to share with us?
Well, due to my work, I've basically still carried on pretty much as normal. I'm like you, I work within the colleges. So I have to go in and look after the students and keep them happy and safe in their environments. So things haven't changed too much for me personally.
No, the only thing for me, which is a good thing, is obviously working from home for the last 8 months has meant that my commute to London has been restricted, so I have been able to spend more time with the family and have more conversations and family time. So that's been a good thing for me. Yeah, I've been going out on walks and evening and weekends that you have to get out of the house or you go stir crazy, but there's nothing like getting out on that football pitch though, is there, on a training session or a game time. So yeah, that's difficult missing that at the moment, without a doubt.
I was going to say is you can tell you haven't been in London for the last 8 months. You seem to be losing that twang with the accent, but also Charlton sitting 4th in the league now.
You probably think that's a good thing. We should be winning that league at the moment. We're conceding too many goals to lose too many games. So we'll be up there at the end of the year. Don't worry, we'll be above Ipswich.
We've got 3 games in hand on that to watch it.
That wouldn't be hard, I suppose.
That's the only good thing. There's been quite a good battle between me and Wayne, and a good laugh and a joke about both teams being in the same league at the moment. So yeah,
it's been quite funny.
And Si, have you started knitting or anything else yet, or have you not any more hobbies? Oh, you're on mute, buddy.
We was lucky enough to move just before the first lockdown started. So unfortunate for me, she's kept me well and truly busy with brushes and paint and new kitchens, and I'll be pleased to go back to bloody work.
Oh, that's the point. How's the washing machine? Is that all right now? Tested?
Yes,
That was a cracking story. Brand new washing machine, brings home the football kit on the first attempt. That didn't go down too well.
Go down very well.
Just going back to the players, we've sent them all a questionnaire. Not really a questionnaire, a little bit of we're going to do a profile pic on the players, because they love seeing things written about themselves and something different. And an interesting, one of the questions was, and Mike might be interested in this one. We asked 64 players who would win the England versus Scotland fixture in the Euros. And I'm just going to go around the table and find out what percentage they think that Scotland would win. Okay, so bear in mind, 64 players have all given their responses. And what percentage do you think Scotland come in at? Scotty, we'll go with you, pal, first.
Percentage for Scotland to win?
Yeah.
About 15.
So from when you started doing that?
Wayne?
3.
3? Si?
0.
I see where this is going.
Trevor?
I'm going to go to 1.
Like 1%.
Yeah.
Neil?
I'll go 5.
Come on, Mike.
Well, I'm thinking maybe only one person that I know of would have said Scotland win, or at least he better have.
He did. I looked for Daniel straight away.
So I'm thinking it's a pretty low number, maybe 1% would say it.
You'll be surprised, 6.25%.
Oh.
A massive 87.5 thought England were going to smash Scotland, with one player recording a 10-0 victory. I won't give him his name just in case you see him next time.
Does he play for the under-13s?
What are your players, Mike? Yes.
He plays for me. He plays the under-14s, so we'll keep him under in hiding. And another question, which is quite baffling, which for me, I mean, when you cast our minds when we were younger, might be slightly longer for a few of us to remember. But you know, there was a question: what would they rather go without, dessert or their mobile phone? And quite staggering. I mean, a mobile phone for me would be straight out the window. You know, I'm not going to give up my dessert for anyone. 50% of this lot would go without dessert to have their mobile phone. I mean, you know, it's just a weird and wonderful world we live in. But well, I'm going to get on now to a subject that's really hit Cambridge City. So, you know, I'm going to introduce former Ipswich Town, Luton Town on loan, Kidderminster Harriers on loan, Barnet, Canvey Island, Kettering Town, Cambridge City legend Neil Midgley to...
Don't forget Hemmingford Vets as well.
That's not on your Wikipedia page, though.
Oh, here you go. Well, it's never true. Don't believe stuff you read on there.
So Neil's going to give us an update. This is some really exciting news, and seeing the main club posting articles on social media and on the website. We're going to hear it from the horse's mouth now. Is that politically? Am I allowed to say that? From Neil's.
Well, call me a horse. I've been nicknamed that a couple of times in some of the clubs. I think Barnet, I've called it.
So yeah, Neil's going to talk to us a little bit about Sawston.
Sawston, yes. So obviously we've had some really exciting news for the football club over the last week or so. So it's been 8 years, I think, since we've had a ground to call home.
Wow.
And I expect probably many of you were never involved at the club at that time. So this is a big, I think as Mike put it in the week, a game changer for Cambridge City, and especially the youth section as well. So with the ground being built and hopefully starting to be built this week, the build should take, the timelines I've been given is about a year's time. So this time next year, we could easily be moving across and transitioning all the teams into the new venue at Sawston. As well as the main pitch and stadium, there'll be a fantastic sort of training facility that's going to be built. And that consists of a brand new full-size 3G pitch, hopefully with a stand, and that should have 4 or 6 changing rooms involved with that. And we'll also have grass pitches able to use as well off the side of that. So that will be a great training centre and a place for us as a youth section to call home. So looking forward to that. Match day should be great. We should all be able to play on a Sunday there. We'll be allowed to use the facilities at not only the training centre but also the stadium, which joins onto it as well. So it really is going to be a headquarters for Cambridge City, and somewhere for not just football but the community of Sawston to use as well. So from a youth and perspective, I think the planning for it starts here. I'll be speaking to all you coaches and managers over the coming weeks as well, asking for feedback, things we want from it, ideas, because it's going to come at us really quickly. So it's something to get really excited about, and it gives a good chance to really push us as a youth section forward, attract new players, create new teams. I think the world will be our oyster, if you like, in football terms. So really excited about it.
Great news.
I think it's fantastic. It's I think a lot of us will remember Milton Road. The days at Cambridge City, and it was always a place when you had a cup final. You're playing at Milton Road. It was fantastic back then. The pitch was always beautiful. It was the best ground. It's the best non-league ground around this area at the end of the day, and it's been difficult for not just for the senior side, because you've been, shall I say, ground squatting over the last 8 years at St Ives, Histon, but to bring the youth, it'll be the first time really the youth would have had a home, because I think the youth is only 5 years. The youth section is only 5 years old, and to have something like this is, I've noticed it. Mike and Wayne will maybe able to touch on this as well. Recruiting has been really difficult in the last couple of years, especially when you've got the likes of Newmarket and what they've got, their ground. So it's a beautiful 4G surface, and then you've got the likes of Soham as well, and Histon have come into the mix with it. There's a lot of clubs that are competing in the EGA, and whilst Cambridge City has got a really strong name for itself, there's always this, our players don't know any different. They won't remember Milton Road, or they won't remember anything else like that. So this is going to be an unbelievable experience. And I don't know whether Mike and Wayne, obviously with recruitment, want to talk about that a little bit more.
I agree with what you've said. Since the announcement, certainly the teams you've mentioned around us now, we're certainly, without a shadow of a doubt, going to have the best facilities in the area. If you want to take it one step further, where you look at the professional club in Cambridge United, their training ground is a college, and then their academies train all over the county at various different places. They can't facilitate it. So straight away, we're going to offer that facility. But since the announcement of the ground being started on Monday, I've had 7 players contact me that are already at other teams wanting to come to us for next season. Which, dare I say it, as we always said, once this ground's up and running, people are going to want to come and join it. And seeing the images and the plans that we've seen on the internet at the moment, I think it's just going to be fantastic. I know from the 15s that we've got now are absolutely buzzing. They cannot wait to play in a stadium that they can call home, because we've been to some fantastic grounds this year. One that really sticks out, Trevor, was at Aveley. Can you remember how good that was over there?
Yeah.
I think you were with us as well. And the other one where we had a pre-season friendly over at Fakenham when we played on their first team pitch.
Yeah.
The boys thrive from it, and the girls. They want to be playing on the best pitches that we can give them. And I think Cambridge City now coming in is certainly in this area going to be a force to recognise with now, that I think we are going to attract those sort of players. And like you say, maybe grow the youth further, which there's no reason why we can't do it.
Well, yeah, certainly. And the chairman and his family, they're obviously Cambridge City through and through.
Yeah.
And the chairman and his dad are very adamant they want it to be the best facility around here, like Cambridge City used to be. And it used to have the best non-league youth system around here.
Yeah.
And, there is a lot of people hurting at the club, the position we are in, but it's testament to the football club and guys like yourselves that Cambridge City still compete and compete really well. And with this ground, we will, I have no doubt we will go back to the top of the tree around this area.
Yeah.
With what we're doing and what we're going to do in the future, and make Cambridge City again that sort of club of choice.
Yep. Which is what we all want, and I'm sure it will happen, Neil. Certainly from what I hear about the chairman and the family and what we hear around, And I remember going back in the day at the old ground. You want those days back, and I'm sure in a year's time we're going to have them, and hopefully we'll get out of COVID and everyone can kick on and start enjoying their lives again. Really.
And Cambridge CiTY have a long history of youth players progressing into the first team.
Yeah.
And we're pushing that now. We keep trying that, and obviously the manager himself, Rob, played in the through the academy, the Cambridge CiTY Academy, and made his debut at 16 for Cambridge CiTY. So he's pro youth as well. So we're in good hands. We're definitely in good hands. So it's such an exciting time to be at the football club.
Good.
Just going on, I mean, really, well, we've been on here for 35 minutes now, and it's been really interesting just to find out what everybody's doing, how they're engaging with the players. And I'm just going to literally open it up now to, we're all busting to get back. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And it's not just the football, it's just being around these 15, 16, 17 players that we have in our squads. And, it's not all about football. It's teaching them life skills. It's getting them to respect one another, and for us to be a club that the name itself that's a really good club to go to, and we've got that now. And I'm just going to open up because obviously Trevor and Scotty, I'm just going to ask them, what are you looking forward to when returning? Whenever this lockdown decides to end, and what the things that you've missed, and what you're looking for into the next sort of like 12, 18 months. I think that's really fair to go from.
Well, I'll start then. So personally, I think obviously because of our age group, we've never experienced this before. So we've took football for granted so many years that now we've had this break, and these boys and girls have had nearly a year intermittently of football. We just can't take it for granted, and when we get them out there, as we said at the beginning, fundamentally they need to enjoy themselves and just be around each other. Friendships grow, and then we can worry about the football side of it a little bit later on, once they get back into the swing of it again.
Si?
Yeah, I think me and you touched on this at the beginning of the season, that because we had so many new players come over this year, we didn't know how these guys were actually going to settle into the side. But quite quickly, we both said the team spirit was absolutely fantastic, and the camaraderie, even between some of the guys that didn't know each other, was second to none, Matt, wasn't it? It was fantastic, which makes it even more enjoyable for me and you, Matt, when you coach them, and it's good to see them having fun, laughing, joking, albeit they do take it seriously. And I'm just looking forward to getting them back out on the training pitch and seeing them smiles on their faces again, having fun, enjoying it. So, yeah, I think we're quite fortunate with the under-14s that we do generally have a terrific bunch of kids,
I mean, I'm just going to go on that. We had 6 remaining from the end of last season, and to bring in the players that we have done, we've been very fortunate to bring in some real quality. But I'm just going to repeat the camaraderie, the laughs. I mean, honestly, me and Si have to turn around sometimes. They just come out of these cracking little one-liners, and you want that cheekiness to come out in players. They know where the line is. They know that not to be disrespectful to each other and everything. I know Freddie Meldal is missing. Freddie! Shout across the football field. Because me and Si keep doing it now, and I tell you, it still brings a laugh to everyone's face, even the ones that didn't experience it last year. Me and Si are just absolutely wetting ourselves on the sideline. So, they're starting to come out, their characters. We've got 2-3 boys playing a year as well. We've got the 2 girls. We invite players to come along and join in with our sessions, because I prefer when, the more we've got, it's better for everybody, and you can make things more realistic in the games. And there's hardly any standing around. We don't allow them to stand around. So, having Si as well come in with us, he's made a massive difference. And it's just a really good vibe, and it's something that you really bad. You don't realise how much you miss it until it's not there. And even the stress of during the week of, oh my God, we've got 18 players available, we've got to get it down to 16. But then Saturday comes and 2 are out injured anyway, so usually patterns it out. Scotty, what are the things are you looking forward to with the 15s? Because obviously this is a new experience, and you've been picking up some really good performances. I mean, I hear a lot from what Wayne says, and whilst the results haven't been what you wanted, the performances and individually and collectively have been fantastic, I've heard.
Yeah, we've made some great progress. Again, a bit like yourselves, we picked up a lot of new players this year, and as you're probably aware, we've got a largest squad at 22, looking to improve the whole thing all the time. Some great performances. Like you say, results haven't gone exactly how we wanted them, but it's sort of showing the signs, and unfortunately, those signs were showing really well when we've had to stop again. So that's another thing this year's brought around, is just trying to gain a bit of momentum with the boys and girls in the team. What am I most looking forward to? Pretty much the same as Si and Trevor. Just missing being out there with these kids, seeing the smiles on their faces, and just the chat with them, the banter, and watching the rewards of teaching them stuff, and they actually get it. And progressing with their own development. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most with it.
I agree with you, Scott. I mean, for me, across the 15s, Matt, we've got players now, 38 players, where we've got 3 girls in there, which for me have been outstanding. And we've got another girl that unfortunately is a long-term injury, and she was the first girl at under 14s to get a hat-trick at EGA football. So she made the press with that, and a write-up she had with that. And then unfortunately the game after that got injured and hasn't played since. So for me, where these players got very excited during the summer is when Neil and Robbie were coming over and watching. And I got Neil and Robbie to do a bit of a talk with them and how they were impressed. I mean, Steve Bradshaw, who also helps out with the 15s, is not on the call purely because he's a bit of an old dinosaur when it comes to IT, bless him. So I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning that. But from the 4 of us that do the 15s, we all coach together on a Saturday as well. And we've all got the same mindset of how we want to be and how we want to play. But for me, everyone knows how passionate I am about football, and certainly the 3 guys I work with. But for me now, where I've reflected on it and thought about it during these, I've actually missed the players more than the football at the moment, for turning up and having a laugh and a joke and the banter that's there. And then you put the football on top of it. That's my experience. I've missed quite a lot, if I'm honest. So hopefully we get back out there soon and get that excitement back.
Absolutely. And I'm going to leave it down, because obviously we're going to be recruiting for next season, the 2021-22 under 13. So the final word really, before I'll leave it to Neil to close this first Inside City podcast, will be Mike. So, the under 13s, things to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was this time last year we started the open trials for what would have been under 13s. And I think we had about 40 players that came along showing the interest in the club. And the ideal scenario would have been to work with them up until about May, June time, get your squad, let them have the summer, and then come back in pre-season. As it was, we went into lockdown in March last year, and on the 27th of July, when we first went back, we had no players. And to be able then to get all the players in and then work out who we're going to sign and all that sort of stuff, it's really been a storming period for them. And the last game that we had before the lockdown was a great performance away from home. And to see them actually starting to work out how to play together and developing as individuals and as a collective, but to see the feel-good factor at the end of the game, not only with the players but the parents, and that's something that we've got to want to get back and just recreate that opportunities for them. And so we think that the challenge, of course, to be able to recruit for the new 13s for the following season, but I just want to be working with the boys that we've got at this year's under 13s. There's some real good potential there, and as some feedback we've had from the parents is that they're a really good set of boys, and that's what you want. Just turn up, enjoy it, create that feel good factor, and the development will follow. Nobody ever excelled in football if they didn't first fall in love with it, and that's what we've got to try and do.
Yeah,
Dallas and I were just
Love
absolutely delighted with the way, before we went into lockdown, the way it was, and you think, oh, frustrating. It would have been great to carry on that momentum, but it is what it is, and we'll go again.
No, absolutely. And he'll put us back up to a full complement from under 13s to under 16s next year. So going into the new stadium as well, 13s to 16s, under 18s, any other projects that the main club come up with whatever they do. I'm just going to leave the final words to Neil before to end this podcast, really.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, just touching on just listening to you guys, all your experiences with football this year and what you're looking forward to, that they all reminisce with me. Like some of the football I got to watch on a Saturday, I think, why am I bothering? But I know why I'm bothering when I go and see the players and we talk and we have that chance. And when they do it properly, and then they do excite and they do give you something to get off the bench and cheer, it makes it so worthwhile. And to listen to them after and have that team bonding with them, you can't. Well, I've never found anything else in life that replicates that. And you know, I feel for everyone with no football, from you guys coaching and managing to all the young players as well. It's something that you know, we can't wait to get back. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back on the training field like you guys, and looking forward to getting this project Sawston off and running and getting us in that new stadium. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So from Scott, Mike, Wayne, Trevor, Neil, Si and myself, thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to doing another one sometime soon.